Aaliyah, the unmatched legacy of the Princess of R&B, Hollywood Insiders Spotlight. Today on Hollywood Insiders, we turn the spotlight on the late, great Aaliyah Dana Haughton, better known as the Princess of R&B. Body. Aaliyah's influence on the late 90s and early 2000s music scene remains unparalleled. From her groundbreaking debut with Back and Forth to the groundbreaking Timbaland-produced hits of One in a Million, she wasn't just ahead of her time, she was breaking barriers. In this episode, we dive into her early career beginnings and working with Blackground Records, her iconic fashion from baggy pants to high fashion glam, her acting career in Romeo Must Die and Queen of the Damned, her lasting legacy as an inspiration to a generation of artists. Rest in peace, baby. Aaliyah Dana Haughton, known globally as the Princess of R&B, was a pioneering singer, actress, and fashion icon whose career redefined contemporary R&B and hip-hop, despite her life being tragically cut short at the age of 22. Her influence continues to shape the music and fashion industries in 2026. Early life and musical beginnings. Born in Brooklyn, New York on January 16, 1979, Aaliyah was raised in Detroit. Her talent was evident early on. She appeared on the television show Star Search at age 10 and performed with R&B legend Gladys Knight in Las Vegas at age 11. In 1994, at just 15 years old, she released her debut album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, which sold over 3 million copies in the U.S. The album was produced by R. Kelly, though their professional relationship was later overshadowed by reports of an illegal marriage, which was annulled due to Aaliyah being a minor. The evolution of the Aaliyah sound, Aaliyah's second album, One in a Million, 1996, marked a significant artistic shift as she began collaborating with then-emerging producers Timbaland and Missy Elliott. Together they created a street but sweet sound, a fusion of soft, melodic vocals over gritty, futuristic hip-hop beats. This partnership produced iconic hits such as If Your Girl Only Knew, 4-Page Letter, Hot Like Fire, Are You That Somebody from the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. Her third self-titled album, Aaliyah 2001, was released just weeks before her death and debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. It featured the hit single Try Again, which became the first song in Billboard history to reach number 1 based solely on radio airplay. Hollywood and fashion influence Aaliyah successfully transitioned into acting, making her film debut in the action romance Romeo Must Die, 2000, alongside Jet Li. She also starred in the vampire thriller Queen of the Damned, 2002, as Queen Akasha, a role released posthumously. At the time of her death, she was slated for several major projects, including roles in the sequels to The Matrix and a remake of Sparkle. As a fashion icon, Aaliyah pioneered the sexy tomboy aesthetic, often wearing baggy pants, sports jerseys, and bandanas, which offered a stark contrast to the hyper-feminine trends of the era. Tragic passing and legacy. On August 25, 2001, Aaliyah and 8 others died in a plane crash in the Bahamas after filming the music video for Rock the Boat. Investigations determined the aircraft was significantly overloaded, and the pilot was neither qualified to fly that specific plane nor free of prohibited substances. Aaliyah's legacy remains vibrant through her music, which was finally made available on streaming platforms in 2021, and her lasting influence on artists like Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Drake. For a deeper look into the career and lasting impact of this R&B legend, beyond her groundbreaking music and fashion, Aaliyah's legacy in 2026 is defined by her philanthropic impact, a successful transition into Hollywood, and her status as a cultural blueprint for navigating fame with grace and mystique. 1. Philanthropy and charitable impact. The Aaliyah Memorial Fund, established shortly after her death in 2001, this fund continues to support causes she found important. In 2024 and 2025, the fund and her fans, known as Aaliyah's Angels, provided support to organizations including Health Research, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and the Alzheimer's Association, Community and Education, the Detroit School for the Arts, and the Central Park Tree Conservancy. Aaliyah in action. While inspired by a different namesake, the founder's daughter, this nonprofit organization has become a major part of the broader Aaliyah charitable landscape by 2026. It provides bereavement support packages to families nationwide and successfully advocated for paid bereavement leave policies in Washington, D.C. 2. Hollywood Trailblazer crossover. Success. Aaliyah was one of the first R&B stars to successfully transition into a leading film actress without losing her musical credibility. Her roles in Romeo Must Die 2000 and Queen of the Damned 2002 proved her versatility as both an action star and a dramatic lead. What if? Impact. Her legacy includes the major projects she was set to lead before her passing, such as a role in the Matrix sequels and the lead in the remake of Sparkle. This unfinished film career remains a benchmark for contemporary artists looking to bridge the gap between music and cinema. 3. Cultural blueprint and mystique, privacy, and grace. Aaliyah is frequently cited in 2026 for the way she navigated celebrity, maintaining an air of mystery and avoiding the tabloid culture of the early 2000s. This less is more approach is often contrasted against the oversharing nature of the social media era. Empowerment through poise. She is remembered for her quiet magnetism, showing a generation of young women that strength could be gentle and sensuality could be classy. 4. Technical innovation, vocal versatility beyond just R&B. Aaliyah was praised by collaborators like Diane Warren for her technical ability, including opera runs used during warm-ups, which showcased a range far deeper than her signature featherlight tones. 8 ways Aaliyah empowered a generation of female R&B stars. More than 20 years after her untimely death and 30 since her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, Aaliyah's legacy lives on through female R&B artists of generations new and old. Dig into her impact, from her fearlessness to her fashion sense. With worldwide sales of 32 million, 5 Grammy nominations, and more than a dozen Hot 100 hits to her name, Aaliyah achieved more in her tragically cut short 22 years than most would several lifetimes over. And more than 2 decades after her untimely death, the female R&B scene is still very much indebted to her pioneering talents. In the last few years alone, she's been name-checked by Beyoncé, sampled by SZA and Normani, and covered by Mariah the Scientist and Sinead Harnett, and that's only on a sonic level. LMI and Mahalia also recreated her signature tomboyish look in their video for What You Did, as did Jhené Aiko on PY Ferry OTW. Justine Skye and Seven Streeter are just a few of the names who paid their respects in 2023 ABC Tribute Superstar. And going further back, Aaliyah has also been cited as a major source of inspiration by Ciara, Tinashe, Nelly Furtado, and Rihanna, while Katie B and Jessie Ware even named their Jolene-esque duet after their musical icon. And thanks to Aaliyah's innovative second and third studio efforts, 1996's One in a Million and 2001's Aaliyah finally escaping from licensing limbo in 2021, those growing up in the streaming age are now discovering her supremely sultry voice, masterly interpretative skills, and array of forward-thinking hits too. In the last 3 years, the likes of Try Again and Are You That Somebody have racked up more than 140 and 170 million streams, respectively, on Spotify alone. But why exactly does the singer nicknamed Baby Girl still have such a hold on contemporary artists, several of whom were barely out of diapers when she was busy tearing up the R&B rulebook? To coincide with the 30th anniversary of Aaliyah's debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, here's a look at how the street but sweet star built up such an inspirational legacy. She knew how to use her voice. Aaliyah arrived at a time when powerhouses Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, and Whitney Houston were the dominant female singers. But the New Yorker quickly proved that lung-busting multiple octaves isn't the only way to vocally impress. Aaliyah was still capable of such acrobatics. According to producer Daryl Simmons, she would often rely on opera runs before recording to warm up her voice. Diane Warren, who worked with the star on ballad The One I Gave My Heart To, has spoken of how she was taken aback by her versatility, but Aaliyah's signature delivery was very much less is more. You can hear her sensual, feather-light tones in the likes of Kalela, Rochelle Jordan, and the internet's Sid, the latter of whom has specifically hailed Aaliyah as a formative influence on her own cooler-than-cool style. She retained an air of mystery. Aaliyah's less is more approach also applied to her public profile, perhaps due to the controversy surrounding her relationship with debut album producer R. Kelly. The singer largely preferred to let her music do the talking. Even when she did speak to the press, she kept her cards close to her chest, and she avoided giving the more salacious outlets any further ammunition by growing up away from the spotlight. If they were looking for celebrity beefs, love triangles, or stumbling out of nightclubs, they had to look elsewhere. In the social media era, where oversharing is the norm, Aaliyah's desire to keep her private life entirely private now seems both admirable and practically impossible. But there are still several artists who've recognized there's a power in retaining a sense of mystery. Just look at SAULT, the enigmatic collective said to be fronted by the Aaliyah-esque Cleo Sol, who've released 11 albums and even performed live without officially revealing their true identities. She was a triple threat. Triple threats are par for the course these days, from Beyonce and Rihanna to Brandy and Nicki Minaj. Almost every female R&B star now seems determined to show they can pull off singing, dancing, and acting. And in the case of Jennifer Lopez's recent passion project, all at the same time. But Aaliyah was one of the first to showcase such impressive versatility. In 2000, thriller Romeo Must Die, she stole the show from Jet Li as the daughter of a crime lord who refuses to get drawn into his dangerous underworld. And thanks to an inventive blend of wire work and futuristic choreography, she was equally spellbinding in the video for tie-in single Try Again. Meanwhile, her slithery performance as the titular bloodsucker was by far the standout in 2001 horror Queen of the Damned. Having landed key roles in The Matrix Reloaded and Sparkle shortly before her untimely death, Aaliyah's movie career would undoubtedly have ascended to the same lofty heights as her musical. She wasn't afraid to take control. Don't be fooled by Aaliyah's softly spoken vocals and coy demeanor. The star was never afraid to tell it like it is. Just ask A&R executive Jeff Sledge, who guided her early days with Jive Records. She was shy, but when she would speak, you could tell she was a real artist, he told The Guardian in 2021. She had her ideas of what she wanted to do and say. She wasn't a puppet. Although her talents lay as a performer-interpreter rather than a songwriter-producer, Aaliyah continued to exert creative control throughout her discography. While promoting sophomore One in a Million, she told MTV, I was very confident in my convictions and what I wanted this time around. It's a mindset reflected across her lyrical themes too. On If Your Girl Only Knew, she hits back at a player whose attention she's unwillingly caught, while on Are You That Somebody, she insists on keeping her new beau a secret until he proves his worth. She helped launch Missy Elliott's career. Although Missy Elliott had started to make waves in the music industry, firstly in short-lived girl band Sista, and then as writer-producer for Jodeci and Aaron Hall. It was her partnership with Timbaland and Aaliyah on 1996's One in a Million, where she truly established herself as an R&B game changer. Elliott co-penned 9 tracks, including the singles Hot Like Fire, 4-Page Letter, and If Your Girl Only Knew. Her sensual melodic hooks the perfect foil for Timbaland's innovative beats. By the time their crowning glory, Are You That Somebody, dropped in 1998, Elliott had become a star in her own right. Maintaining the synergy, her debut album, 1997's Supa Dupa Fly, also boasted a guest appearance from Aaliyah. But as Elliott told Entertainment Weekly in a tribute to Aaliyah after her passing, their connection went far beyond the studio. It was more of a family vibe than just work. We could tell each other anything. Over the next few years, both established Whitney, Mariah, and emerging 702 Tweet female talent would follow Aaliyah's lead by utilizing Elliott's production skills. She gave the youth a voice, from SWV and En Vogue to Brownstone and Jade. The mid-90s R&B scene was dominated by ladies well into adulthood. Aaliyah, however, was just 15 when debut Age Ain't Nothing But a Number hit the shelves. Subsequently, a generation of young girls immediately latched on to who they saw as a kindred spirit. Although Aaliyah always sounded more mature than her years, her debut often reads like a schoolgirl's diary entry. She even opens the title track by noting one, May 5th, 1993, Aaliyah's diary, Got It, goes the often omitted intro. Songs about crushes, hanging out with her friends, and partying on the weekends certainly reflected the teenage experience with authenticity. Aaliyah was still attending Detroit High School for the Fine and Performing Arts. What's more, Young Nation essentially finds her spearheading a new youth movement, keeping it smooth with a jazz attitude. There were so many messages in her songs that guided me and became the soundtrack to my childhood, British singer Cara Marnie told The Guardian, proving that Aaliyah's generational influence extended far beyond her homeland. Well, that's going to do it for this episode and podcast of Hollywood Insiders. We do hope you enjoy the look back and tribute to the great singer and actress Aaliyah. You may support the channel and podcast by liking, sharing, subscribing, and we are also available for your enjoyment on YouTube, Hollywood Insiders, and I'm your host, John Shaft.